I call on Neil Hamilton to move amendments 2 and 3 tabled in his name. Neil Hamilton.
You can speak to your amendments.
Diolch yn fawr iawn, Llywyd. Well, I do regret the way in which Rhina Bjorweth introduced this debate, referring to uncertainty for existing NHS staff and their family as a result of Brexit, because we all know that the government has given a commitment that anybody who is here lawfully will be allowed to remain. And that is the position under the government's treaty obligation. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Because it is a treaty obligation of Her Majesty's government. The second thing in particular, that in a 30-minute debate where I've only got a couple of minutes to speak, I don't think I can give way. I'm sorry, but I'm quite happy to see the member outside afterwards.
That will not be on the record.
I also very much regret the reference to increasing enmity towards immigrants. Apart from a very small minority of reprehensible individuals, there is no enmity towards immigrants amongst the British people at all, particularly towards those who work in the NHS. About 5% of the staff of the NHS throughout the UK are from overseas and are EU citizens. They do play an extremely important part in the delivery of health services, and that no doubt will continue. Nobody is asking to build a wall down the middle of the English Channel and stop movement either way. What we want is sensible controls. These controls are already in existence as regards the rest of the world. There are a very large number of people employed in the National Health Service who come from the Indian subcontinent, India, Pakistan and other places. They are already subject to visa controls. So we're asking for nothing which is very remarkable in relation to EU citizens. And no one can deny the growing alarm on the part of very large numbers of people as a result of the uncontrolled immigration which has taken place within the EU since particularly 2004. In 2001, there were 59.1 million people in the UK. By 2015, that had gone up to 65 million, and estimates for 2026 are 70 million people on current population trends. These are very, very rapid increases in population, and they are having enormous impact upon certain communities in different parts of the country. It is that popular concern which has given rise to the Brexit result. I have no doubt of that whatsoever. But with no difficulty in acknowledging the contribution which immigrants do make to this country, all that is being asked for by millions of people. 17 million people voted for Brexit. They're not all bigots and racists. Only a tiny minority may be bigots or racists. They are not worthy of our consideration in the context of this debate. All that we're asking is that immigration should be controlled. Every country in the world controls its immigration to a greater or lesser extent. We're only talking about a question of degree, not a question of principle. And the motion, in a sense, ignores the important role which is played by those who come from other parts of the world outside of the European Union. And as a result of introducing controls on unskilled immigration from the European Union, we'll be able to perhaps be more generous towards other countries in the visa regime which we apply to them. It'll be for the British government to take these decisions and not the European Union. And that, I believe, is an important democratic gain. I do have some sympathy with the Plaid Cymru position that the Welsh government should have a role in this, but we have a UK and a UK immigration policy, and the correct way in which the Welsh Government feeds into that is in the normal relations which exist between Cardiff and Westminster. And so I believe that the future of those who work inside the NHS, who come of people who are citizens of other countries, is assured under the current arrangements, and that will continue, and that we will have the flexibility in a regime for visas and work permits which can be introduced in due course, to provide for whatever needs that there are as a result of skills gaps in the NHS. And so whilst deprecating any form of bigotry or racism, I think we should nevertheless accept the concerns of millions and millions of people that immigration should be controlled, and that there is no necessary contradiction between wanting to have plenty of skilled people to fill the gaps which exist, not just in the health service, but in all other forms of economic activity, and yet, on the other hand, control the numbers which are creating so many difficulties for so many people in different parts of the country.
Dawn Bowers.